Okay, welcome to Bhante's Brunch Dharma Talk. This is a Dharma talk which Bhante usually gives before eating his meal, brunch. For those of you who do not know Bhante is a Theravada Thai forest monk. Bhante spent about 4 years living in Thailand in different monasteries to learn about different practices. At the moment, Bhante is living near Kara in Pahang. Today, I'm going to talk about being alive. What does it mean to being alive? In my last talk, I talked about the world, what the world is about, how we experience the world. Today I'm going to talk about what it means to be alive. We notice that at every moment we are in contact with things. And with that contact, we are aware of feelings that arise in us. We are aware of our desires, and we are aware of our actions, following those desires, or our actions, following our aversions. Now, every moment, this process from contact to feeling, to desires, and to acting, the Buddha has explained, it is a process called dependent origination. And what he meant is that depending on contact with a particular object, feeling arises. Depending on the feelings, craving or aversion arises. Depending on craving, clinging arises. Depending on clinging, there is becoming, and so on. But these are the important process that we want to look at every day. The Buddha teaches us a method, a method of practice. It is not just a theoretical explanation of how the world works. See, he explains to us how the world works, how being is, and he expects us to practice. The whole idea is to see that the law of dependent origination operates all the time, from the moment of contact to the moment of becoming. Now, with this becoming, it is not one becoming an accountant, a physicist, a doctor, or something. This is at a smaller scale, something which extends from a few seconds to a few minutes to a few hours. Now, becoming is something we have experienced before. We know we become angry. Maybe at the time when we are angry, we don't know. But after the event, we thought, oh yes, I became angry. Now we know when we became jealous of somebody. you know. We also know when we became greedy about something. Now, we know there's always this series of becoming, and we do not understand, how we become like that. Why do I become angry? Why do I become suddenly greedy? Why do I suddenly become stingy? Why do I become jealous? Why do I become fearful? Right? So we who do not know dependent origination will start finding fault in ourselves. Try to find fault in ourselves. Yes, I must improve myself. I mustn't be fearful. I mustn't be jealous. Right? I mustn't be this. I mustn't be that. It doesn't help. It doesn't solve the problem. We can only solve the problem when we know the cause of becoming. Buddha says, depending on clinging, there is becoming. And what does he mean by that? What are we clinging on to? Right? Well, the first thing that we know is that everything starts with contact object. Contact with a particular thought. Contact with a particular view. So when we are clinging, we are also clinging to that object, to that point of view. So when we become angry, we are holding on to a particular thought. This person is trying to provoke me. We cling on to that thought. When we start keep clinging on to that thought, then it automatically becomes, we go into a stage of become angry. Now, when we become angry, there's always a point where the anger can subside. But we do not want to. We want to hold on to that anger, hold on to the becoming. With that becoming, there's also the energy as well. Some of us may enjoy the energy. See? So become more and more angry until it goes out of control. The same with greed. The same with jealousy. But for some, this process from contact to becoming is so entrenched in them, so habitual, so that the process goes so fast that they just become angry. They just lose their mind. So we know that clinging is the cause of becoming. So every time when we become, or we have became angry, or became jealous, you want to look back and see what thought or what view is it that we are holding on to. We want to inspect that, we want to examine that. When we examine that, then we can see the process of becoming. So any time when we become angry, or become jealous, or become greedy, we want to look at the object, how we perceive the object. Sometimes we become stubborn, hold on to that point of view. We don't want to give up that point of view. We don't want to give up our way. See, that's clinging onto it, and then we become. It is when we become, that there is karma, that's action. It comes to a point, it can be action in terms of a speech, it can be action in terms of physical action. So when we become, then we create karma, both good and bad. So until the point of clinging, we haven't yet created any karma. At the point of becoming, we create karma. But even though when we come to the point of clinging, if we do not let it cease, then it becomes habitual. Habitual clinging. See? So if we do not let clinging cease, then it goes to the next stage of becoming. So to stop yourself from becoming, you have to let the clinging cease. You do not want to cling on to that. You can say, oh, never mind, Or you can look at it and then be mindful of it, and say it's not worth doing it. Or it's not holding on to this. Or whatever you're holding on to, you can say, well, I'm not really sure, that he purposely did it. Or I can say, I'm not really sure, that my way is the best way. See? So when we start introducing uncertainty in our thinking, uncertainty in our thought, uncertainty in our view, when we introduce that, then we don't hold on to it strongly and continue to hold on to it. Once when we are very certain about something, then we are in big trouble. Because when we are certain, we want to defend it. We want to defend our right. There's this righteousness. You shouldn't have done it that way. That is definitely wrong. See? And you stand up. You stand on that. This is one of the things with Ajahn Chah teaches us. Whatever you hold on to, always say it's not sure. Even though you're 100% certain, just say, not sure, I'm 95%. Keep a little room, give a little bit of doubt. Not because you doubt whatever that point of view, but so you introduce that doubt for the purpose of being able to let go. That's the most important thing. See, whether you're right or whether you're wrong, that is one thing. But what happens when you become, what you do when you become, that's important. That is karma. That is committing karma. So you want to try to remember, to say, either never mind, or I'm not sure, That's one way of stopping yourself from becoming. So if you are somebody who becomes all the time, you want to look at that object, cause of it, and then you learn to let the clinging cease, to let go of the clinging. Clinging itself has a cause, and that's due to craving. Constant craving of something, of an idea, of an object, it becomes clinging. So all this process, you have to look at it. So when you're at the stage of becoming, if clinging ceases, then you won't become. If you're at the stage of clinging, then you want to let cravings cease, so that you do not cling on to it. So that's the way to do it. It is not trying to improve yourself. It doesn't work. Because it is a process. It is a tendency. It is the way you view things incorrectly that causes the becoming. Lots of people try self-improvement, I'm not going to try to be angry anymore, and then you have all these various methods. But the Buddha teaches only one method. Be mindful of this process of dependent origination. Whatever stage you are at, whether it's becoming, to let that cease, it depends on the previous stage. Becoming depends on clinging. Clinging depends on craving. Another name for clinging is attachment. Right? And for you to reach a state of attachment, you have to constantly crave for it. First you crave, I must get the new model of iPhone, the next model. Wow, it's much better than the previous model. So you have this craving, and then you start constantly crave about it. Read more about it, find out all its features, more craving, and then becomes clinging. I must have it. Right? And then you start finding ways of getting the next model of iPhone. Whatever you want, it goes through the process of craving. So if at that stage of craving you say, well, yeah, okay, there are new features, but the new phone, towards the end, works similar to the old phone. The old phone can use it. So you reduce that craving, You can either reduce that craving or you can increase that craving. Increasing that craving is finding out more about these features. And saying, wow, this feature is good, it's got 3 cameras, it's got autofocus, it's got everything, So you start looking at, building on the craving for it, Well, that's the way we live. We live through the process of dependent origination. Every time we're in contact with the object, we are always going straight towards the stage of becoming. Going through feeling, desire, just craving, clinging, becoming. So when we develop mindfulness through our meditation, or we practice mindfulness constantly during our daily life, then we can stop this process. Whatever state that arises, we are aware of it, we hold on to it and let it cease. We don't let it go on to the next stage. There are certain things which is not important to us. There are certain things we do not have much feeling for it. So it doesn't drive through dependent origination that fast. It's not strong. A piece of cake, you're not too bothered about it. You don't like cake. I can have it. It's just, it may taste nice, You can decide to have it or not have it. But it comes to durian or something, one last piece of durian, then the first thing that you come to your mind is, I hope nobody takes the last piece of durian, that kind of thing. It goes that fast, It goes that fast. So the process of dependent origination is explained by the Buddha. We have to look at it every day, every time. When we come to see it, then we know how the process works. We know how to stop ourselves from becoming. And there is a future benefit in it when you come to know about dependent origination. When you come to know and see, when the heart sees dependent origination clearly, then you give up the view of there is a self. There is a process. There isn't a self. There isn't an actor. There isn't somebody who does anything. See? And you see what the Buddha meant by anatta, non-self, because everything goes according to the process of dependent origination. Okay, now you tune in to listen to the Dhamma, and hopefully you understand and you straighten your view, you get the right view. And in listening to the Dhamma, in correcting your view, you get merit. And now you want to get more merits, you want to get bonus merit. And to get bonus merit, you transfer your merit to your departed relatives. You help them as well, support them, right? And you get bonus merit. So I'm going to chant the transference of merit, So whilst I'm chanting, you want to transfer the merit to your departed relatives. Yatha varivaha puraparipurinti sagaram evam evaito dinam petanam upakapati ichitam patitam tumham kipam viva samijatu sabe purentu sangapa chando panaraso yatha Manijoti raso yatha sabitiyo vivajantu sabarogo vinasatu mate pawan vantarayo sukika yugo bhava apiwa Tanasili sanicam buddha pacayino Chataro Dhamma Bhaktanti Ayubano Sukhang Balan Bhavatu Sabba Mangalang Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Bhutanupavena Satha Soti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabba Mangalang Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Dhammanupavena Satha Soti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabba Mangalang Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Sanghanu Pavena Satha Soti Bhavantu Te